Where's our money gone? Where's our money gone? What do you spend it on? What do you spend it on?
Renters across the capital have had enough. We've had enough of paying extortionate rent for poor and dangerous housing, to live with the threat of eviction and homelessness and never knowing when we may be forced to move.
Stand up and fight!
We're people who need homes in which we can live and thrive. We're not just a convenient source of income for property investors.
Housing is fundamentally imbalanced because some people just have more power than others. Rogue landlords, Section 21 evictions, terrible conditions, having to move constantly, rent rises. 1 in 3 private renters are getting into debt just to meet their costs. This is just life now. There is a national union called ACORN, and what they do is campaign on behalf of renters. I'm on my way to Manchester to meet local activists. I was renting and it was awful. I lived somewhere that was so mouldy. I developed a chest infection that wouldn't go away. And then after that, I moved into a space that was so small that I felt like I was losing my mind and I couldn't figure out why. I didn't have kids in a school. I had a credit card. I had a job. That's very different to someone who has no choice. The idea of the housing crisis and who it affects now does seem to be this sort of white, middle class, young professional, millennial who can't afford to buy a house even though they're in a good job. That is a huge part of the problem, but the issue is so much wider than that.
Do we have a housing crisis in Manchester?
I think so. What do you think?
I'll tell you what there is in the city centre, a lot of building work going on. See that massive big building there?
Wow, that's huge.
That's going to be apartments. There's 2 of them actually next door to each other.
The building's part of the answer, right? We need more houses. The question is, can anyone afford to buy them?
Well, that's just what I was going to say, exactly what you said.
House prices are rising higher in Manchester than anywhere else in the country. Most people are like 2 months away from being homeless. Homelessness is, incredibly visible everywhere you go.
When you're younger, you kind of have the picture of, I'll just live in a house that I own, like our parents could afford to do. I had no idea how bad it could be.
Do you think action is being taken fast enough on housing?
No, absolutely not. You've just got to think like how many MPs are landlords. Like, how can you expect people to be objective when their interests lie so totally in the other direction?
All this power is in the landlord's hands. If you're an individual, you don't have any bargaining power, and this is where ACORN comes in, and we're kind of building kind of collective power.
We're not waiting for a change of government, we're not waiting for the council to bring in new laws or whatever. We're showing that we don't have to accept things the way that they are, and we can make kind of tangible changes now.
The tenant is the consumer. In any other industry, in any other market, if you were treated this badly, there would be a way of sorting it out.
Sure, and to me it shouldn't just be a service, that should be a right.
It should not be that you can make more money as a buy-to-let landlord than you can in work. If a nurse can't just jack up her salary when she fancies it, why can a landlord jack up her rent? We didn't see our social housing stock as an asset. Right to Buy was an incredible vote winner, but the problem is if you don't replace the houses you're allowing people to buy, then you're going to run out of houses, and that's where we are. I don't think we teach people in school how our democracy works. I don't remember anyone ever saying to me, you can write to your MP. We need to empower people from a young age and tell them that they can impact politics and policy and that it's all interrelated. We can tinker around the edges till the cows come home and talk about it for another 20 years, but we're still going to be in this situation. What needs to happen is something seriously radical, like a huge overhaul of the way we view property and land. Imagine if at midnight tonight you could just click your fingers and everyone owned the house they were in. That would completely change the game. People would be able to focus on other things, like work, like their health, like making society better.